Hey, everybody. It's Ryan with Keller Williams.
Kamie with Security National Mortgage.
So we are sitting in my newest listing over in Cobblestone Ranch. This place is like walking into a Restoration Hardware magazine. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very turnkey, beautiful. I mean, I'm impressed. I think this home is incredible.
Beautiful.
Location is amazing.
So we keep looking over to the left here because all we see here is open space and foothills and bluffs. It's absolutely gorgeous.
No, you don't see any houses.
No.
Which is amazing.
I mean, I think the builder eventually is going to build off in the distance over there. Okay. But like there's open space for like a long ways.
Yeah.
Like there's a river, like a stream way out there. Like this place is amazing.
I mean, sitting right here at the island is like the perfect spot to have your morning coffee and look out.
So why don't you check it out? It is 6090 Leilani Lane. It's in Castle Rock, and our listing price is $785. This place has 5 bedrooms. It's got 5 bathrooms. There's a bonus sunroom off the kitchen that lets in all this crazy light. There's a dedicated office, finished basement, and most importantly, I think, in my opinion, is it backs to this expansive, protected open space. Mm-hmm. Listed at $785, very reasonable for the neighborhood. Yeah. In fact, we're probably aggressively priced a little bit. We could have maybe gone a little higher, but I think it's a really good price for the time of year. So jump on it. It's going to be great. We'll maybe grab the camera, show it around a little bit later. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a great home.
Here's what's crazy about this. You know, the lending world is been like the wild freaking west the last like 8 months.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to kind of get back on track. We were just talking, you could get this house for 3% down conventional loan with some good credit, obviously.
Yeah, but even FHA, 3.5% down either way, but conventional with the new conforming loan limits, how they've increased for 2024, you can get into this house with as little as 3% down.
But okay.
And what?
Here's what I'm seeing a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They hear this and then they run through the numbers and they're like, oh my God, my monthly payment is going to be crazy because I'm only putting 3% down. How can buyers help mitigate the monthly payments right now until a few years down the line when rates kind of relax a little bit and get better? Like, what options do they have?
Well, one of the biggest options that we have been doing a lot of is a temporary buy down. So we can obviously help buy down the note rate. That's going to be your 30-year fixed rate.
Sure.
But with seller's help in getting a seller concession, we can do what's called a temporary buy down. We have options to do what's called a 3-2-1. So if your note rate is 6.5, the first year it's 3.5.
Okay.
Second year it's going
to... Wait. Did you just say 3.5?
Yeah.
I haven't heard those words since the pandemic.
I know. And
what?
Thankfully, we have been lucky over the last couple weeks that is a realistic number. 6.5 on a note rate is very achievable, which brings your first year to 3.5% for year one. That is on some homes. Now, I haven't run the numbers for this specific home, but when you're at this type of a price point, that can be close to $1,000 a month savings in that first year of interest.
Dude, that's
in the payment.
That's
in
insane.
The payment, though.
That's insane.
Yeah, $1,000.
So, like, normally, if you were just going to go to your branch at your bank or your credit union or whatever it is, you're going to get the 6.5% rate, and you might pay $4,000 a month for like a house like this. But you could be saving $1,000 with this temporary buy down.
Yeah. So that's year one.
Okay. What happens year two?
Year two, it's going to go to 4.5.
Okay.
Year three, it will go to 5.5.
And
year four, it'll be at that 6.5 through the remaining term. Now, the best part is there's no prepayment penalty. So if rates do come down they come down enough where you can refinance in year 2 at a 4.5 rate fixed for 30 years, by all means do it.
Right.
And that money that's supplementing that payment for that temporary buy down is in a separate escrow account. So we as the servicer will, supplement the mortgage payment, but
Right.
whatever's left in that escrow account is yours. It's the buyer's money. So it will go back to them towards buying down that note rate further on their refinance, covering closing costs.
So, okay. So like an example, like this house at 785, a seller concession might be $20,000, which I think, it's a little steep, but I don't think it's not, I think it's a reasonable, thing to ask as long as terms, are favorable. Like you don't have a contingency that's not on the market, or
Right.
you don't come to the inspection looking for every little, thing that you could possibly ask for, which this house doesn't need anyway. But so $20,000 or $25,000 that gets put into a kitty. And so if you only use $10,000 in the first year and you want to refinance, you can use the $15,000 left as part of the closing costs.
Closing cost or buying down that note rate further. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's the buyer's money. So
That is incredible.
you not only get an incredible rate the first 3 years, but you have access to refinance and make your rate even lower for a permanent 30 years.
So what I think a lot of people don't realize what you can do with these as well is, like, let's say you've got a house like this one and sellers are only willing to give $10,000 in concessions below their asking price, right? What can we do then?
Then you can do what's called a 2-1 buy down,
Okay.
which means your note rate's 6.5. The first year will be 4.5. Second year, 5.5.
But I really like that 3-2-1.
I mean, the 3 sounds really nice. It is a little bit more expensive, but so if you have access to get that 20,000 or 25,000 from the seller, and your offer is still attractive, then
Do it.
Then do it.
So-
yeah, because when you do a comparison of taking that, let's say call it 20,000 from the seller, and you're like, I want that actually to come off of the purchase price. I don't really want that buy down. I don't want help with that.
Right.
Your payment is not going to change as significant or nowhere near significant if you did the
Because isn't
buy
it
down.
like for every $10,000, it's like $80?
Like 50?
It's like $50 a month. Right. So this leads to that. So like,
Yeah.
let's say you've got a house you're looking at, and like let's say this one, you want the $25,000 off. So we're going to offer $785 with $25,000 off. And sellers are like, you know what? It just isn't going to work with our numbers. As a buyer, we could go back and go, you know what? We'll give you $795. But we want the $25,000 off, so you still get the 3-2-1. It doesn't affect your monthly payment very much.
No.
$50.
Yeah.
And it's worth it
But
for
you're
that 50
saving so
bucks.
much more.
You're saving so much more.
So
and
the
you're
buyer really does end up on top, and
Yep.
and in my
Yep.
opinion, ends up as the winner in that type of a situation.
Right, yeah, because you might have $10,000 more on a purchase price, but the benefit far outweighs it with the incredible interest rate. But also, what I think is the best part is you're banking that $25,000. That money is yours, and to refinance how you want to. Gosh, and if next year, or even if you go into the second year, rates now get down to, let's say, 5 3/4. That $10,000 or $15,000 buys you into the fours.
Yeah.
For a
100%.
permanent fixed rate.
Yeah. So we've been seeing a lot of temporary buy downs when we help.
Is that buyer kitty, that concession, is that with all buy downs?
Temporary buy downs.
Temporary buy. All temporary
yeah.
buy. So temporary buy. So it's got to be like a 2-1, a 1-1, or 3-2-1
Well, and at Security National, we also have a 1.0.
What's a 1.0?
It means that your interest rate, it's the cheapest one, so it's the least amount of
$5
money.
grand,
it's like, if that, it's probably like $3,000.
So
and
you get
it drops it down 1% for the first year. But it's still a benefit because you still get that monthly savings.
Yeah. I think it's what a lot of people aren't talking about is that bankable amount right there. Mm-hmm. And gosh, you get into a scenario, this makes a house like this, which might seem like it's unachievable, makes it extremely achievable for the buyer who was looking 2 years ago or a year ago, that all of a sudden finds himself pinched with interest rates. Mm-hmm. This is the option to be able to move into a dream house. Gotta hate that cheesy term.
Well, but I think that's a good point though. When buyers out there need to move or want to get into the real estate market, they've been renting for so long, and they want to buy, but the home prices and the interest rates scare them, right? Because let's face it, in Colorado, our home values are still holding, right?
They're still we are not seeing some of the price dips that other parts of the country are seeing.
Exactly. And so it's discouraging. Right. But it's really important that you are educated and you have somebody in your corner on a lending side to walk you through all of the amazing opportunities available, because if you don't have that, then you're going to get scared to move in because the price of the home and the interest rate is scary. Right. But when you get into a home at a rate of 3.5 for the first year, that payment is very nice.
It's very nice. Mm-hmm. Like you're possibly under $3,000 a month for a house like this.
For a house like this at this price,
which is insane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, you got to have some decent credit. Like you can't owe Leroy the bookie some money, right? Yeah. Or be late on your car payments and things like that. Right. So if you're in that situation, clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want, ideally we want to see with these on conforming 640.
Okay.
FHA.
Yep.
620.
Okay.
Not too bad.
At what point does pricing get better? Not marginally better, like significantly better.
When you're looking at conforming, 780.
780. Mm-hmm. So those people who really do take care of their credit and really do put that effort in, they're seeing the benefit. Yeah. All right. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Gosh, it's funny because our market is holding, and I have watched, we have a few people that are in our kind of sphere and world that we're watching that have been holding out. Something better is going to come. Something better is going to come. And have steadily watched as all of the houses that they feel comfortable moving into, that they want to move into, are just slipping away. Yeah. And it's now becoming smaller houses. Now it's coming less desirable finishes, right? Mm-hmm. It's maybe changing the area. Mm-hmm. And it's going to happen next spring as well. Yeah. Because next spring, once we hit our kind of our early summer, late spring stride, that's Q2. And that's when the Fed has said that their rates are going to be relaxing even more, which is going to automatically dump all of these, or a large portion of these buyers that have been sitting on the sideline. Yeah. That's going to be their trigger to go.
Well, and that's why now is the time to get in when there isn't that influx of competition. Right. So a home like this listed at $785 to get $20,000 in seller credit, that is crucial and a motivating factor to move to do it now and not wait, because if you wait until late spring, early summer,
this is 800.
You're not getting,
this is 800,
and you're not getting the 20.
And you're not getting the 20 grand.
No. Yeah, timing is everything, right? In real estate, timing is everything.
And I don't believe there's more clear of a sign than the time is now to buy. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like all of the markers have been raised, like buy now. Like you look at investors, investors are buying in fury. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Now the other thing is maybe there's a buyer that wants to buy, right? But maybe their credit isn't great. and maybe they just don't have enough savings for a down payment.
Okay. Yeah.
So they want this house, but their credit score is, let's say, 600, and they don't have the...
They have $15,000 in the bank.
Yeah, but maybe they don't even have that. Maybe they only have like 5,000 or 2,000.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, it's real. That's real.
It is real. And Security National, we have our very own down payment assistance.
That's right.
No income limit, no first-time home buyer requirement.
That's right.
You can get in literally with less than $1.
That seems not real.
I know, but it's totally real because
that does not seem real.
The down payment assistance is up to 5% of the purchase price.
Okay. So for all of those skeptics like me out there, right, somebody's paying for that money.
Yeah.
So where is that a second mortgage? How does that work? How does that get set up?
You have two ways. Now we're getting kind of in the weeds, but let's talk about it. Okay?
I know. I love getting in the weeds.
I do too. And let's talk about it because it's good information and it's helpful. So you have two options. You can either do a forgivable. So after you've been in the home for 3 years and it will just disappear.
So wait. Because like I know, like isn't like some
Chaffa
of the
does that?
Isn't it 5 years though for Chaffa?
3.
Was it 3?
It's
okay.
3. Yeah.
I was excited.
Chaffa's 3. So it's 3 years.
So you stay in the home for 3 years, 36 months, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden that money is it a silent second?
It's called a silent second because it is a lien on the home. It goes behind the first
mortgage. But it just
mortgage,
dissipates.
But it just kind of goes away after 3 years. Now, if you sell the home or you refinance before the 3 years, then you do have to pay it back. So, go ahead. This is a dumb question. I think I've already answered in my head. I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you pair this program up with a 3-2-1 buy down? Yes.
What?
Yes.
This is
And
crazy.
you can stack it. Do you know what I mean by stacking?
No, I do not know what you mean.
So
I know what stacking hamburgers is like, right? But I mean,
kind of like that.
Right.
No. So you want to use our down payment assistance, which is called SN Close or SN Home. We have two different options. Okay. And you want to use that one, but you also can use Chaffa on top of it.
What?
Or you can use Metro Mortgage Assistant.
Why would you want to do that?
More money. So
So just lowers
your cash out of pocket because you have the down payment, right? So it's an FHA loan with our SN Close or SN Home. Our down payment assistance is an FHA loan. So FHA is a minimum of 3.5% down. Right. You're getting 5% off the purchase price.
Right.
3.5 is going to go to that down payment. Right. You have 1.5 to go towards closing costs.
Right.
1.5 probably isn't. It's not going to be enough.
Well, your property insurance alone is going to probably eat all of that up.
Yep.
As it is, because that'll be.
Yep.
Or even that and the prepaid taxes.
Prepaid taxes. Right. It's just setting up your escrow account for taxes and insurance. Right. Setting up the closing costs, covering that.
HOA and stuff like that.
Appraisal fee, HOA, all that stuff. Right.
So you might just need a little bit of a boost of cash. So that's when you layer in Chaffa, and then those both are congruent 3-year forgivables.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you making this so easy?
I mean, it's good stuff. So you have the forgivable, or you have an option to do a repayable. Okay. Which interest rate on our DPA, it's not just
DPA,
down payment assistance. Okay. It's not just here's the rate and this is what you have to choose from. You can buy down the rate. Oh. Yeah. So on a forgivable, the rate is going to be a little bit higher than if you do a repayable because you're repaying it. It's like it's like a second mortgage that you're making payments on. Yeah. Yeah. It's very minimal payments. So there's so many different options. So when there's people out there who have the low credit score, don't have a lot of money, maybe they just sold their house or they've recently owned within the last 3 years.
Or maybe even a divorce situation.
Yeah. where you couldn't use those other down payment assistance because you're not a first-time home buyer,
Right.
or you make too much money,
Right.
because those are like pretty
That happens a
low
lot.
income.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
This is This is honestly the best thing, because you can have control of your interest rate. There's no first-time home buyer requirement. There's no income limit. We can go down to a 580 credit score.
Okay, that's incredible.
So there's just so many options that I don't think people out there know.
They don't. So how do we get in touch with Kamie? You can either call me on any of my listings. Kamie's number is listed in our MLS listings, or you can call her at, what's your phone number?
303-483-3565. You can call, text.
I should totally have it memorized, but it's like you're
I don't have it memorized.
You're my favorite.
You're my favorite, so who needs to memorize that when you're your favorites?
Okay, so holy cow, that was a lot we talked about.
Say this address again, because this is an incredible home, and
this house,
look it up.
6090 Leilani Lane. It's in Castle Rock. It's at 785. You are going to love it. Take a look at it. I anticipate we'll probably be on the market till maybe right after Christmas, a few weeks. That's what the average days kind of are pointing at. So get out here, take a look. When your family comes into town for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate, bring them by. It's great.
Well, and it's a great community too.
I want to
the neighborhood in here is amazing. All the events, it
is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a fun.
We drive golf carts in the community.
Yeah,
but I kind of want to just end it by taking.
Show them the view.
Can I take the camera over there?
Yeah, you have to. You guys have to see this view. It's incredible. I can't stop staring at it, and I love watching the people walk by.
Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look. Okay. All right, guys. Good times, great oldies. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you again soon. Say bye.
Bye.